I get a phone call about 6:30 saying that my mother passed out at work, fell and hit her head.
That's how we do it in the South.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. You know, I want to start this off with an old saying. I used to work with a guy, his name was Jim. And Jim this is when I was working the parts counter at CarMax. He worked there and he'd been doing parts for years. And he had a saying when he was having a bad day, he'd come in, get your head down. He goes, he just pat you on the back and he said, you ever have one of them days you just want to shit in your hand and rub it in your hair? And that saying made no sense to me then. But as life has gone on, and Jim's passed away many years ago, but the older I get, that saying makes more sense. And I want to tell you something. I've been having one of those fucking weeks. It has just been straight up. You know, I know we show you guys the highlight reel and you get to see all the cool buys and, you know, all the fun stories and the scandals and the scams and the drug dealers and the whatever. And those are fun. Those are great. You know, but sometimes I just have a shitty week, and I have been. You know, and I just want to fill you in on that because I think that's important to be real. You know, this is the thing, you know, a lot of times when you got these cameras rolling, you lose a lot of the real because you're showing, you're just showing the good stuff. It's kind of like your Facebook page, you know, it's kind of like, do you think those girls really look that hot? No, it's a filter. You know, basically we're filtering life through this. So I think it's kind of cool to show you guys a little of the backside and just some of the bullshit that I'm having to deal with. And because it's stressing me out. And in a lot of ways, this is like therapy for me, is talking to you guys. It's like, I consider myself to be a pretty strong person, pretty strong-willed, you know, confident, all that good stuff. But sometimes it even catches up with me. And it's just been the shittiest last 5 or 6 days. And it weighs on you. You know, you get to thinking about stuff and you know, it brings you down. And there's 2 things that brought me out of this. And I want to share those with you there here in a little bit. But what we're actually talking about right now is this crappy week I've had. And, you know, I'm not one to boo-hoo. I'm not one to cry. But this, hands down, has been one of the crappiest weeks for me. It's just stress. You know, I just feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. We have a lot going on at the RUC that you guys don't even know about yet. Things that are in the works. And that's, you know, like I love to be able to tell you all these things that we have going on, but, you know, we got to pace ourselves with some of this stuff and get all the details worked out. And, you know, big events coming up and whatnot. But it's like, and I love that. I love sharing the triumphs with you guys. I love sharing those home runs. But I think it's important, like I said earlier, to show you, you know what, even old Rabbit can have a bad day. And it's been a pretty shitty one. So, let's see. You know, we're moving. Obviously, we're still at the Greenville store. We keep cars here right now while they're redoing the new RUC. And they're actually working on it as we speak. So nail guns and sheetrock guys and all that stuff is just too messy to film. So we shot here today. But, you know, and that's exciting. I love it. I love seeing what literally started as a cheesy t-shirt design turned into a multi-million-dollar company. And I love it. And I love that, you know, we're expanding and moving to a new location and all this stuff. But the stress of dealing with contractors and materials and just the expense of it. You keep in mind the last 28 days, I've spent over $640,000. That's insane. In the last 28 days. And I'm glad I can. My accountant is having a shitting hemorrhage. But I'm glad I can because I want to build the best collector car dealership I can. And I see how everybody else does their stuff. And I see how I do my stuff here. And I want to make it better. I don't want just another metal building with cars parked in it. I want that garage mahal. I want that killer backdrop. I want all this stuff. And I want to make it as nice as I can because I want to make that a destination for when you guys come visit. I love that because it's something to be proud of. It's something for you guys to see, to show you what hard work does. And I love it. But it's stressful nonetheless. Okay, moving on. I get a call. And it's so weird. You get so used to things. You know, you get certain phone calls at certain times, just like literally almost every day. I can set my watch by it. About 7:30 in the evening, Travis Bell's going to call me. I love it, you know, and get my little, what's going on, you know, all this stuff, and hear all about what's going on in Indianapolis with Travis Bell. He's always got something fun cooking. But my mother is another one of those, you know, so she works, and when she gets off work, I get that phone call. Literally between 6:10 and 6:15, you almost set your watch by it, which I forgot today, by the way, which feels so weird. But, you know, so this was last Thursday, so this is, 4 days ago, and I didn't get a phone call from her. And it really scared me a little bit because it's just kind of out of the ordinary. Well, I thought, well, maybe she's, shooting the bull with somebody at work or she's running behind, whatever. Matter of fact, I was up here in Greenville and I get a phone call about 6:30 saying that my mother passed out at work, fell and hit her head. And I get a picture of my mother bleeding literally out of her face. And I'm just like, all the shit. I literally go as fast as I humanly can back to the lake. And, keep in mind, that's still an hour drive either way you twist it. And you're sitting in, go home traffic. So I get there, I get to the hospital. We're in the ER all night long. Luckily, she works at the hospital, so that's a good thing. At least she was close, but she actually fell walking to her car, broke her ankle, like I said, busted her, this whole left side of her, or right side of her face up. And I mean, just pitiful. And thank goodness she was all right. We got to the bottom why she passed out and all that, and all that's been addressed. But now she's got a cast on her right foot, and, face is all bruised up, and, she's, of course, skin up her elbows and her hands and all that good stuff, and bumps and bruises everywhere. And so I've been having to play nurse. And you gotta think about it, she's not getting around too good. So I'm here, stopping in breakfast, lunch, and dinner and making sure she's all right, make sure she has everything she needs, whatnot, and help take care of her. In between, bouncing between the new store, this store, just like a ping pong ball, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, my phone's going off nonstop, like it's literally going off as we speak under my leg. It is constant. And that will wear on you. And, you got all this going on. We're waiting on this, And another thing that we're doing that a lot of you guys, some of you know about it and some of you don't, we are launching a new company under the RUC umbrella, Old Wrap Bunny. We are putting a full wrap shop inside the new RUC. Well, we're getting equipment ordered. We're waiting on that. Of course, they're still using damn COVID for an excuse for that shit. And it's so frustrating because I've got jobs lined up to do and we've got so much stuff. And I mean, Kobe is wiring the office for the new wrap shop as we speak upstairs. And I mean, this is going to be a frigging awesome thing once we pull it together. But it's like herding fucking cats getting anything done. And I thank God every day for Kobe Kai because he understands me. Me and him think a lot alike on this stuff. So I know he can handle his end of it. And his end, you don't even have to question it. He can just run right through it because he knows. But everyone else doesn't work like me. And And I know that sounds silly, but it is so frustrating when you're running 90 miles a minute and the rest of the world is dragging their feet behind you. And it just drives you nuts. But, enough of me bitching. Let me show you what snapped me out of this. And I got to think two people. One I know really well, and one I don't know from Adam's house cat. But a really good one. Like I said, Travis Matthew Bell calls me every day, 7:30. And he called me up. I said, "What are you doing, Travis?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm going to the grocery store." And I said, "Well, heck," he said, what's Robert Pitts up to?" I said, "Man, I'm about to pull my fucking hair out." I said, "I am stressed beyond belief." And, of course, he knew about Mom. And he asked about her. And he knew about the new store. And, of course, he knows about the wrap shop and all this stuff. And he goes, "I can see it. I can see it." And of course, he's been to all of them, so he knows how far they are apart and bouncing back and forth. And he said, "I can totally understand your frustration." But he said, "You got a minute where I can really talk to you?" And I said, "I'm all ears." He goes, "Something you got to understand." He goes, "If there's one person in this world I know can handle stress, is you." He goes, "I have never met a human being in my life that can literally treat the world like a cigarette." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He said, "You walk into a room and you light that motherfucker up." He said, "You're that guy." And he said, "Everybody gets down, but," he said, "it's my job to help pick you back up." He said, "Because when I'm having a bad day, when I talk to you, I instantly feel better." He said, "Just like you talk to everyone else. They feel your energy. They get that vibe." He said, "And it hurts me to see my friend down. And I want to remind you how fucking awesome you are. Because everybody needs that kick in the ass." He said, "This is the thing you got to think." He said, at the end of the day, he said, your bad days are better than most people's wildest fucking dreams." He goes, "That's the thing." He said, "You can't throw yourself a pity party. Yeah, it fucking sucks right now. Get over it." He said, "You got to look at the big picture and what you're doing. The things you got coming up." He said, "This is the wildest times of your life." He said, "You're going to look back 6 months from now and laugh about this." He said, "This is temporary bullshit. Got to snap out of it because we all need you on your A game, me included." And I'm like, "Damn, brother, I'm just, thanks, and like you got a phone, like you felt just warm and fuzzy on the inside, the old ice box here thawed out a little bit, I'm like, man. So, stopped by to check on Mom and take her whatever she needed, make sure she had everything she needed, and talk to her for a little bit. And I was actually sitting on her couch and catching up on some emails and missed a few phone calls while I was dealing with her. And, so just kind of playing catch up a little bit. And I checked my Instagram, and there was a guy that I have no clue who he is. One of the followers, somebody that follows me on Instagram. And it started out with, "I want to thank you." And he breaks out in this spiel that he is going through stage 4 cancer right now. That's what he's fighting. And he said, "I watch your videos when I take my treatments." And he goes, "I absolutely love it." He said, "Thank you for making me laugh and making me smile." He said, "I love it. And I just want to tell you that." And I replied back to him, and I try to reply back as many people as I can. But that one really got me. You take yourself out of it. And I just complained for the last 10 minutes to you guys about something at the end of the day that doesn't really matter at all. There are people literally fighting cancer to stay alive that are laughing at the things I say, these goofy shit, all this goofy stuff I do. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a glorified used car salesman in South Carolina. But that hits you. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I mean, it really puts it in perspective. Mom, building, waiting on equipment, whatever, anything. At the end of the day, you know what? I'm walking, I'm talking, and I'm taking care of business. Yeah, is it going exactly like I want it to? No. But I'll be honest with you, in the grand scheme of things, rarely it does. So when you're having a bad day, I think it's important that you think the same way. Because there's always somebody out there that's got it a little bit worse, especially when you want to throw that pity party for yourself. Think about it. This guy is in the best spirits ever. I can't even imagine what he's going through. And to send me that message makes you think. Guys, got to keep on keeping on. We'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars.